Hello everybody, just getting set up here. We see everything? I guess we can. You can see my coffee, books, good. Welcome back to TMI Live from the Scriptorium, also known as TMI HQ, the headquarters, however temporary, of the McLuhan Institute. This is where I'm inventorying the library of Eric McLuhan. This is the 7th episode. I've been at it for several months, starting to lose track of time, but I try to get out here one night a week at least, and spend a few hours after I get our boys, Ezra and Virgil, to bed. And here we are. If you want to follow along, I posted a photo of the current shelf on the McLuhan Institute's Instagram page, McInstitute, I think it is. You can find it. I'm trying to be cute with the name there. That shows you this row of books and the rest. There's a box at the end, and I'm not sure exactly what's in there. We'll find out. Probably not this week. Trying to keep this to 15 minutes. And I don't know if we'll get into anything exciting. So first up, we have a paperback copy of Understanding Media, second paperback edition, I think. Not in great copy. This one has a little bit of mildew to it or something. It kind of looks like my parents, Eric and Sabina McLuhan, had a house fire at the end of 1999, fall of 1999, and a lot of books, a lot of things were damaged. A lot of books got put into deep freeze immediately and sent to a restorer near Montreal, where a lot of them were saved. This freeze-drying extraction process. So the mold isn't active, it's inert, but there you have it. Anyway, paperback copy of Understanding Media. If this is your first time here, what I'm doing is I'm making an inventory of all the books in Eric's library, and I'm putting down the basic publication data as well as annotations and included bits and pieces, whatever they may be. So there I'm noting the title, the author, Marshall McLuhan. It's a paperback. Its condition is not great. And is this Signet edition? New American Library Mentor, New York. And the year 64, obviously. Includes the introduction to the second edition, which is really cool, and which I made some comments on my personal medium.com blog. If you look for Andrew McLuhan on Medium. Anyway, it doesn't say what year this was. Doesn't really matter that much. 1964. There's no notes or anything on this. I wonder why Dad kept this not great copy of Understanding Media. Who knows? Anyway, moving on. No notes. We can move to cultural literacy, what every American needs to know. Ed Hirsch Jr. Oh, sorry, E.D. C.H.J.R. Paperback. It's another one of the same. This one is in slightly not as great condition. I'm calling that not great, which is a librarian's term, I'm sure. Not. There are notes in this. It was a habit of Marshall to write something cogent to the entire text above the title page, and Dad's done this: cultural literacy in education and what remains. ... Vintage New York. Year 88. Dad's name's not in it, but many annotations. And education as remains. That's I forget what quote that is. Maybe somebody else knows it, or maybe it's just something McLuhan, something about an education is what remains after you leave school, or something like that. There are a lot of notes in this. This is officially jam-packed, cover to cover. That's a lot of notes. And they start in the introduction and go right through the entire book. Lots to take note of. Cultural literacy equals encyclopedia of cliches. Dewey equals applied Rousseau. Content neutral. Something. Cultural with a K. Literacy. Reference to pound. Ground. Cliche. Culture. Ground. Man, there's a lot here. China in the alphabet. Center margin. Rhetoric. Short-term memory. Is my mumbling annoying or what? Practical criticism. TOC. Theory of communication. Okay, so I'm just going to make a note of these. Some of them. So we had all kinds of stuff. Slots, TOC, CM. Education is what remains. That's going to bug me. Maybe somebody will fill me in on. So yeah, throughout the book there's a lot of underlining and other notes. Ground. RH, right hemisphere, as opposed to left hemisphere. That's one I would like to spend some time with, but there's no time to waste. How to read a person like a book. Is she receptive to you? By Gerard Nirenberg and Henry H. Calero. There you go. Is she receptive to you? See back cover. Or is she turned off? Vital information here. Anyway. Pocketbook. It's 75. Paperback. Good condition. book. 1975. There is not a name in it, so I'm not noting that. What an excellent illustration, gaining time to illustrate. I see people commenting, but there's no way I can keep up with comments. I do look at them after, so thanks for being here and being engaged, you three lovely people. This is exciting YouTube television. I'm going to break the internet with this one, I'm sure. Oh, man. Anyway, there are 0 notes here, but... Followed by face reading. What does this face reveal? Timothy Elmar. Do you know the meaning of taut cheekbones, a thin-lipped mouth, downward pointing wrinkles, a jutting chin, cat-shaped eyes, a broad, unlined forehead? These are revealing characteristics in the language of the face for anyone with the knowledge to read them. This is face reading, the Chinese art of physiognomy. Oops. New American Library. Oh, publishers of the second paperback edition of Understanding Media, 10 years later. I know you're just here for my witty comments. Face reading. Timothy Marr. I mentioned later on the shelf that I'm on, there's a box. I actually do know what's in them, sort of. It's full of videotapes that look like they're from the early 90s or something. I didn't actually crack them, so I don't know what's on them, but there you go. I won't hold you in suspense in case it was going to keep you up tonight. New York. New American Library, 1974. Dad's name is not in it. There are not notes, but this stuff was interesting to him. Oh, there are photo analyses of famous people. Is there any table of contents? No. So. Anyway, that's really interesting, but... Oh, this has a little more to it. From Bauhaus to Our House, Tom Wolfe. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Bauhaus. Tom, what if he's right? Gosh. Actually, I'm going to say not good because this is another one of those. That's okay, though. Fair. I mean, you know. Condition is relative. Pocketbooks, New York. 1981. And this does have Dad's name in it. T.E. McLuhan, 19 January 83, Toronto. Aww. Dad got this for himself on and for his birthday. T.E. McLuhan. 19 January 50. January 1983, Toronto. Happy birthday, Dad. I was thinking about that guy today. Well, I think about him every day. What can I say? So there are a lot of notes in this book. Cliché. This book is not in great condition. This is another one of those fire books. And there are lot of notes in the back. There is an article clipping, and there's this page. This is all from this book. Flip, retrieval, flip. Congenial to dialectic. Privacy equals bourgeois. Apologies for being silent. Just trying to understand what all these notes were about. So yeah, they're all from this book. Some more written out than a lot of his notes. Tend to be more thought out. 1983. He would have been into laws of media at this point, which is why we're seeing a lot here. Flip, retrieval. I will make a note of all of this in case I ever come back to it. Oops. Notes. Let's see what this the right way. What's the article about? It's about architecture. And in the back page we have notes on hardware flip to software. Flips, hardware, software. Anyway, that was kind of cool. And then we have 3 copies of the Reader's Digest, which contains a tribute to Marshall McLuhan. July 1981. That's nice. That was for his birthday. Page 33. McLuhan, The Man and the Mystique by Harry J. Boyle, author, broadcaster, former chairman of the CRTC, who knew McLuhan for 20 years, appraises the work and character of the man who coined such terms as the global village and the medium is the message. That's nice. He was also a master of words and a man of deep humility. Once, when I pointed out that he had been described as one of the best minds of the century, he said, "That's a bit much. Most of what I have to say is second-hand." Then, with a grin, "Second-hand, but gathered from the most esoteric sources." Yeah, well, that's fairly true, and he acknowledged his debts to many people like Harold Innis and more. Soon after his death at 69, a movement was begun to create a memorial to him in Toronto's CN Tower. That may be appropriate recognition for Herbert Marshall McLuhan. The edifice not only towers over the city he favored for living and working, but also houses one of the world's greatest assortments of communication equipment. Here he would be remembered in the presence of the gadgetry he kept telling us had radically and irreversibly altered our living. Well, that never happened. In fact, there is no memorial to him in Toronto, really. We could argue about that, but let's not. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you very much for being here, and good night.